got duodenal glands here, which are hard to distinguish from this far away. And we've got a nice view for the first time of the muscularis externa. We can see the two sublayers here and here. And then this is the small intestine, so it should have a serosa, but you know what actually it has? It's got a bunch of other tissue from whatever organ was next to it. It shouldn't really be like that. The serosa would just be a very thin little layer, so we'll look at that closer. Okay, so don't fall asleep on me. We're getting there. We're getting it done. Might even get it all done, maybe. Don't fall asleep. All right, pay attention. Okay. All right, so there's the villus. All right, so you're out of it's part of the mucosa. All right, so what's this? Goblet cells. Good. What kind of epithelium is this? Simple columnar. Good. Yeah. So it's a good thing we did all those connective tissues first, right? So you're using your tissues and connective tissues. You're using your other knowledge now, which is good. You got microvilli along the edge. Okay, all of the small intestines are going to have microvilli. They're all going to have simple columnar. All the parts of the small intestine are going to have goblet cells. Okay, here's inside of the villus. This is the underlying connective tissue. What kind of tissue is that? Areolar tissue. Good. Okay. Good. And so that's called the lamina propria. The type of tissue is areolar tissue. Okay, so now we get down in here, and these are the little pockets. Even though it doesn't look like they're pockets between the villi, just trust me, they are pockets between the villi, and once we go over the lecture, you can get a better three-dimensional idea of the small intestine. Hopefully it'll make sense. These are pockets between the villi, and these are the intestinal crypts. Okay, they do have some goblet cells, but in the colon, there's going to be lots of goblet cells, lots more. Okay, so here's the intestinal crypts. Where are they? They're kind of like in the deeper part of the mucosa. All right, so there's the muscularis mucosae. It's the first time we've seen that. So we're still in the mucosa, the little smooth muscle layer that helps to move the folds, the plicae. All right, so now we're going to go down to the submucosa. So here's the submucosa. It started right about in here. They're tied together, of course. All right, so then what's this structure here? The duodenal gland. Yeah, there's a couple other names for it. If you want to call it one of those other names, that's fine. Here's the duodenal gland. Okay, this also produces mucus. All right, so there's the submucosa. You can see that dense irregular connective tissue. And now we're down here in the muscularis externa. Okay, so here's the sublayer. This is the circular muscle. Remember I drew that picture in lecture? Even though it's the circular one, it looks like it's long, right? But it's the circular one because this is a cross section. So we're seeing it because it goes all the way around like that. Okay, so this is the circular sublayer. And this is the longitudinal sublayer. And actually, this is not on your list, but this is the part of the myenteric plexus right here. That nerve plexus that innervates that. Okay, and then the little itty bitty serosa, I see just a little wispy bit of it. I don't know if I'm making it up or not. It's really thin. It's just a simple epithelial layer with a teeny bit of connective tissue. But it's really not a very good example. But it should be just a teeny bit thicker than what's on the edge here. The serosa. Okay, so duodenum. So what's noteworthy about the duodenum? Duodenal glands. Yes, you saw villi, you know you're in the small intestine, and then I will scroll down and I will show you the areas where you can notice the distinguishing feature of the duodenal glands. Plicae circularis that's a big fold. We'll talk about that. That's not visible. Any questions on that one? Okay, the jejunum. Okay, so you're going to look at it, you're going to look for villi. Make sure we're at the small intestine. Let's go this way. Okay,